Hey there, my friends. How's everybody doing today? Hope the weekend has treated you well. It's just been a nice quiet weekend here in South Alabama. Watched some football yesterday and just have been pretty much lazy. I don't think I've done a reading this week, not that I remember, so I thought I'd share a little something with you today just from some reading I was doing earlier this morning. And just kind of continuing in the same vein. I'm just like all about, I'm into this now stuff right now, and I'm into a certain, like I just finished an Eckhart Tolle book not too long ago. To the people that recommended this book, Letting Go by David Hawkins, really good book. Might be of all the books, I might even dig this one a little bit more than A New Earth by Eckhart Tolle, but that's hard to compare. But anyhow, that's not what I'm reading from. I've got another little reading here, and today we're going to talk about finding peace, the only place it exists. My hope when I do these little readings, or when I'm talking about mindfulness, meditation, living in the moment, is that it might spark your interest and seem, maybe important enough where you'll go find people that can speak on this subject more eloquently than I can, because there's a lot of them out there. And that's what I do a lot of times. I'll see somebody, they'll talk about something, and I'll just go start doing some searches and see what people have to say about it. But anyhow, just got a little reading for you today. Thought I would share, and I hope you'll enjoy it. Sorry, I don't usually go in Chrome. Jesus Christ. Sorry about that. All right, the title of the article is Finding Peace in the Present Moment. And I'll drop a link below in case you want to go back and read this again, but it's kind of a lesson in, taking nuggets, taking tidbits anywhere they come from. The name of the blog that I read this on is called crazyblondelife.com. So normally I would have, I'd have been like, okay, what am I going to find there? But I read it, and it actually, a lot of good truths in there, made a lot of sense. So these past few days have been kind of wonky for me. Normally, most of my days and hours are dedicated to this blog. I blog about my life, what's on my mind, what I'm cooking, etc. But things have felt off because somehow everything I think to write about just doesn't seem right. Yesterday morning, as I tried to meditate, my mind just would not quit wandering off, and I felt frustrated when I finished. At that point, my prayer became, God, universe, guides of the highest truth and compassion, angels, please show me the next steps. My question was essentially, please show me what to do in the next moments, and I felt some frustration in the not knowing. What I heard was put things in order and then sit down. I did my workout, then put my house in order. So often the task of the day, whether it's blogging, taking pictures, laundry, etc., seem never ending, and finding the time to stop and sit down never happens. But yesterday was different. Whoever this is, Baldy wasn't home, so I had a few hours of quiet time, and I sat in our sunroom with a stack of magazines and one of my favorite books by one of my favorite spiritual teachers, Eckhart Tolle. I lit a candle, made myself a cup of tea, and put a stack of magazines in my lap. I love to be inspired by the beautiful pictures and the great articles in magazines, but these days I seldom have time to look at them. I was thoroughly enjoying myself and finding lots of inspiration for things to blog about when it suddenly came to me that I wanted to go for a walk. Yesterday was a much nicer day than the weatherman predicted, and nature is so beautiful and green right now, so I decided to wrap things up and get outside. Before I got up, I picked up Eckhart Tolle's book, Stillness Speaks, and started to read. This book is a series of individual entries, and it is recommended that the reader read an entry or two and then stop and ponder. It was just what I needed for my walk, and even though at the time I didn't know it, but it was also the answer to my prayer. The first two entries read, when you lose touch with your inner stillness, you lose touch with yourself. When you lose touch with yourself, you lose yourself in the world. Your innermost sense of self, of who you are, is inseparable from stillness. This is the I am that is deeper than name and form. Stillness is your essential nature. So what is stillness? The inner space or awareness in which the words on this page are being perceived and become thoughts. Without that awareness, there would be no perception, no thought, no world. You are that awareness disguised as a person. I decided to stop reading and ponder that on my walk. As I walked, I tried to be very aware of the stillness surrounding me that is always there, as if I were, and we all really are, the silent observer of everything going on. It was like nothing I had ever experienced. As I was walking, I felt a sense of peace. I could hear the birds, the train, the wind blowing, and the blowers blowing, and I was aware of all of it at the same time. I noticed the space between my thoughts, and as my mind started to wander, I was able to bring myself back to being present. I came home in the same state of awareness and tried to keep it for the rest of the evening as we ate dinner and continued on with our normal routine. Before I went to sleep, I read another entry. I believe that when we sleep, our subconscious takes the things that are on our minds and starts to work them out. That's why what we dream, often the things are that are on that's why when we dream, often the things that are on our minds are in our dreams. I wanted to sleep with the idea of being guided to my next right steps. In other words, I wanted to wake up knowing what to do next. These are the words I read. When you become aware of silence, immediately there is that state of inner still alertness. You're present. You have stepped out of thousands of years of collective human conditioning. We all have our own consciousness, and we are all also part of the collective consciousness of humanity. Right now, in the collective consciousness of humanity and our private consciousness, lots of people are freaking out. People are afraid. Otherwise, we would have toilet paper in the grocery stores, and that's just one small part of it. I have only had one small moment of panic for myself in my situation, but I will admit that I've had fear surrounding what's going to happen to our economy and the earth. You can just put in whatever fears you might be thinking about there and imagine. What I realize after reading these entries is that we, need to stay in the never-ending stillness of the present moment. That stillness is the present moment. That stillness is only found in the present moment. In the present moment, there is no fear, no projection of what might happen, and no guilt and worry about the past. There is only peace in the present moment. Most people don't go on a hero's journey or spiritual journey until things get really bad, including myself. Part of my spiritual journey has been writing this blog, but that's another story for another day. When the fear of what could happen takes over and adversity is right in front of us, that's when we need to start trying to figure it all out. I'm telling you, the fear of what happens, I can relate to that more than I can tell you. I see this all around me right now in the need that people are feeling to put positivity into the world. The beautiful images on Instagram of people at home dancing and playing with their children. The stories of people taking care of each other in the ways they can. Even though we as humanity are facing much adversity, we are also presented with an opportunity to go forward in a different way, an opportunity to go forward in a better way. What looks bad at the moment has a purpose. I believe deep in my heart that everything happens for a reason. It's time to start taking care of ourselves, our families, and our earth. Don't lose yourself in fear and panic. Take time to find stillness in the present. Ask for guidance in whichever way you believe is the right way, and look at this situation for what it is. A time to shift our way of thinking and make the world a better place. The ending to this story, every morning I get up, drink an unusually large amount of water, take my supplements, and sit to meditate. Lately, my meditations have been Oprah and Deepak Chopra's guided meditations. As the universe would have it this morning, Oprah quoted Eckhart Tolle and referenced his book, Stillness Speaks. My meditation was deep, and I felt my mind stop as it never has before. I was completely aware of the stillness of the present moment. I ended my meditation with the prayer that I pray every morning. I begin this day with the wisdom to trust that I am profoundly loved and supported by the universe, that its infinite power lives all around me and is the light within me. As I got up and sat down at my desk, my first impulse was to scroll through Instagram. A few seconds in, I landed on an IGTV video, Eckhart Tolle. I nearly cried. Speaking to the world about the opportunity this situation is giving all of humanity to make changes for the better by being present in the moment and not projecting fear and letting the past go. I want to include the poem that I posted on Instagram yesterday. It feels very appropriate for now. When this is over, we never again take for, when this is over, may we never again take this for granted. We'll see how our poem is. I haven't read this. I didn't read the poem. A handshake with a stranger, full shelves at the store, conversation with neighbors, a crowded theater, Friday night out, the taste of communion, a routine checkup, the school rush each morning, coffee with a friend, the stadium roaring, each deep breath, a boring Tuesday, life itself. When this ends, may we find that we have become more like the people we wanted to be, we're called to be, we hope to be. And may we stay that way, better, for each other because of the worst. My prayer was answered in ways I never could have imagined because of it. I was able to write this post. It feels right and good to me now. My prayer is that it serves you as you read it. It's always about that present moment, man, that letting go. The more I put in the work, the more I read, the more I meditate, the more I focus on this every day now. And I kind of got back into this daily practice of mindfulness, of meditation, of really getting back into the work in July of last year when I moved here. And I think if I hadn't, I might be losing my mind, because I've been doing it daily and really reading and studying this stuff and just trying to apply it to life. And I find it popping up more and more and more and more in everyday situations where I catch myself. And I just go back to the present moment. I remember you're here now, be here now. It's, what time is it? It's always now. Where are you? You're always here. That's it. There is no life. Nothing exists outside of the awareness in this present moment. And the more that really becomes ingrained in me, and the more that I use it over and over and over in different situations, it gives me that tool. It gives me a peaceful way to deal with what comes up. So anyhow, just my thought for the day. I hope you enjoyed that reading. Like I say, I'll remember to put it in the description below. I hope your start to the week is a good one. Let's all go out there and have a powerful week. I've got some plans this week. I'm about to get some things initiated. So good hanging with you guys. I love you, and have a beautiful day and a beautiful week. Peace.